Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have a hell of a game for you guys today. It's one that I've been clipping things out of for quite a little while, so you may recognize bits and pieces. My ally Core and I are playing against Crippling Depression and Sphinx, spelled somewhat dyslexically, I suppose. But, well, I can't really pronounce that, so Sphinx it is. I'm playing it as the Soviets. This deck is meant for team games, and there are some design choices I have changed since. But if you have any thoughts on that, please do let me know, because really I have not been satisfied with my Soviets deck in quite a while. So I have a lot of stuff moving forward here. We have some OSAs, BTR-80As, BTR-70s. It's the standard town grab that you'll see in Gregory a lot, some sort of scouting, some sort of ATGM, and this is interesting. So Crippling Depression, we have a helicopter moving forward into Anna already, and that means he really wants to know what's in here. Probably going to be some pressure coming along that side. My own units are a bit more aggressive on the right-hand side as well, having some stuff headed toward the town, but then I also have Gorno Strelky 90 and an MI8 MTV that I was trying to set down right here, and we do just start to set down, but that's a Hawk Pip 3, a couple of rockets away, and I'm trying to... oh jeez, we got hit right there, so close. It kills me a little bit. But M1A2 Abrams from Sphinx moving forward, and here's the pressure from Crippling Depression. He has infantry in the town, Nordlandsjägeri, and much as I'm not a big fan of these guys, I do have to admit, this situation is absolutely perfect. Most everything is going to be inside that 1575 meter range. They can shoot at basically, anything and everything that's pokes its head up. So lots and lots and lots of pressure. M41A1's leading the way, all of that gunfire. That's an automatic back there, you can tell. The distinctive silhouette, of course, is the little spinny whirligig on the top, but there's just so much stuff here, and my ally core is taking a beating. Q5D coming in, trying to get some sort of pressure on these guys, but it looks like, yeah, not the best contact. Nordlandsjägeri barely even bothered by that sort of thing, and my own advance here is struggling as well. M1A2 Abrams, not one, but two of them are just completely shutting down my BMP rush and my Motostrelky and everything here as well. So the only saving grace so far has been my Conqueror's M, but I lose my Recon Helo. I have an Akula, but I need to be really careful because that Hawk Pip 3 is there. He's out for blood, and we are able to screen out things just a little bit, but I'm buying planes. I'm trying to help out on this side, and just there we did manage to take out, where is it? Yes, there's the automatic on that side, and the 27M has come in and done his job. With the automatic out of the way, the Akula is going to be switching over here, avoiding that Hawk Pip 3 and getting some assistance for my ally, as, most of his stuff is killed. There are some Feng Hua Bing that are headed up into the trees there, but they cannot handle things like CV9030Ns, and we did want some of those Vikir ATGMs, well, I guess, yeah, that works. Sal H missiles, I suppose, going in after the right targets. But my Conqueror's M is down to a single missile. I really wanted this. I was looking at this at the time. I was going, that's a side shot. That's a side shot. Give me the side shot. And then it turns out, I think it was that I was here, not there. We couldn't quite get vision on it. Very upsetting. Very upsetting indeed. But with all of that heavy contact around Gregory and Boris and Anna, my BTRs are just headed forward. So we'll revisit them here in just a second. I will fully admit I do sneaky and malevolent things, but as a buddy once said, this is Wargame. We're supposed to do sneaky and malevolent things. So, Nordlandsjägeri still holding here, PGZ 80s, ZTZ 80s. I'd like to see these guys a bit farther back than they were, because infantry here is going to take them out relatively cost effectively. Once they get panicked from that first hit too, there's not going to be excellent accuracy coming out of those guys, and pretty low rate of fire. Well, damage per second, I suppose, off the TS4 main gun. So they are getting moved back a little bit. We also do spot some things here from Sphinx. It looks like I'm fighting him mostly on this side. M3A2 Bradley is spotted, M1A2 Abrams is spotted, and that's by virtue of the Spetsnaz GRU, so they will do a decent job of this. And I don't know why now they decided to fire, but we actually get a rear shot on that M1A2 Abrams. Down he goes in a bundle of fire, and yeah, I guess he's still hidden from view, but that kind of sucks. Still, a nice 180 point kill off of that Conqueror's M team. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff. BRDM 3 and BTR 80 moving forward, and I have some Spetsnaz GRU here as well. I'm going to be dropping them off in that town and then seeing what they can do, but more reinforcements have arrived, and Crippling is just keeping up constant pressure here. And, if he can take Anna, we're in quite a bit of a bind. Their team already has Fetter. I'm sort of arguing over Gregory with Sphinx, and if they can cap all the way up to Anna, there's no way we're going to be able to win this game of Conquest. But my BRDM 3 is moving up, BTR 80A moving over to this side, and there is a command vehicle right here moving forward. So I saw that, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice if we could, do something about that? So we're going to be trying, but more pressure coming in here. There's the first of the two M1A2 Abrams, not the one that got killed, Of course, Super Dragon, Hawk Pip 3, Bradley, another Hawk Pip 3. And I was thinking to myself, oh, actually, here it is. BRDM3 gets caught shooting at the fob. I need to turn off that setting. Now I understand why people don't have it on. You will shoot fob, sometimes even your own fob if it gets captured. But we are going to be switching targets onto the CP here just as a Cobra is coming out. And I was thinking to myself, look, I've had some hard times on the ground here. I have not one, but two double squads of Conquerors teams moving up, potentially able to get some cheeky kills and fend things off. We do actually get the kill there right at the last second on that CV, but there's a second one in Elena. Probably, once they saw this, I don't know, it was already out, might have been headed for something else. But I was thinking to myself, you know, maybe, just maybe, I can leverage some planes from the Soviets that I don't tend to use all that much. Smirch is also called out, and here's something kind of annoying. Minimal range, so I had wanted to shoot that in right into this cluster of stuff, the M1A2, the Hawk Pip 3, the Hempt, all of that, and I couldn't because of minimum range. But the Spetsnaz crew get a kill there, BTR-88 trying to fend off a Cobra. The first ATGM does get the kill, and my seaplane comes in, we get one of the Hawk Pips, but the second one is shooting in. And here's the thing. You have a couple choices when your ally is getting pushed. You can send stuff over directly, you can try to team up on that side, but if you're getting pushed as well, then it's sort of a bit of a even sort of gamble. So I'm trying to do both at once. We'll see how well I split the gap. Hawk Pip 3 gets killed, and the Su-27M turns and takes down the M1A2 just for good measure, before evacing quite safely, as we have destroyed not one, but two Hawk Pip 3s that were designed to fend off just that sort of attack. So a rover is shooting in, and this was really embarrassing. One of the missiles on the way. Down goes my Akula to a stinking rover RBS 90. Look at that. Oh, I'm so mad. Well, we did get some bit of revenge as my Spetsnaz crew, unspotted in that town, until just that second, did kill another command vehicle from Sphinx, and we're definitely putting attacks on at least one of my two opponents here, as I've just infiltrated into his backline and killed a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, that's sort of, it's good, it's what you want to do. And our issue now is that Anna's still held. There's still a couple things here, rovers, some vehicles, almost certainly infantry in those towns, and Tankashashao will do a decent job of fighting them, but not a decent job of taking the damage that they might be able to put out, especially with some sort of mechanized fire support. So we aren't all quite solved on this side yet. There's now a couple mortars firing in, and my Smirch has not been able to find a target yet. I've moved him all the way back here just to say, okay, well, fine. I purchased this thing. I underestimated the minimal range, but I want something out of it. Let's see what we can do. And unfortunately, the mortars are going to be enough to kill my Conquerors team. It looks like this guy was probably spotted, maybe some recon infantry in the trees that I wasn't able to spot as well. I mean, infantry hide better than gigantic tanks. So that was a bit of a disappointing investment. Fighting Falcon now coming in from Crippling Depression, and this is dangerous. If these guys have enough time to just bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb, you're going to have a bad day. So we needed to kill that thing, but I didn't have the appropriate plane up at the time. I didn't have the appropriate anti-air up at the time. And, I mean, that landed with decent success. Tankashashao are screening out the Nordlandsjägeri, and this is a nice firing concave. I like the double squad of 85-2As here. 80-point tanks, but their 4 HE power does somewhat make up for the slow rate of fire. You can see 4 points of damage, much higher than the 2 to 3 that you usually get off of standard tanks. Ka-29TB also trying to support, and that rover is still very deadly. We did get some rocket pods away, and, well, got out kind of alright. My plane also got out alright again, and here the cavalry scouts, this is what spotted and allowed those mortars to fire in. I'm really kind of upset about it, but Motostrelki and MTLBVs will be just moving up and trying to clear out anything in those woods. Now that, I mean, we've killed a lot of stuff from Sphinx, so I was sitting there going, I doubt he can handle just a standard infantry rush right now into that section of woods. I bet that would be difficult. AH-1F Cobra is around this side, and that is pretty scary. I mean, those ITO missiles, 60% accuracy, 20 AP, there is scarier, but 8 of them is very nice, and they are, I mean, I think they're mid-range killers, right? They're meant to take out infantry fighting vehicles, sorry, easy for me to say, and things like that, and my infantry push gets kind of crumpled. It was a little bit noobish, I didn't have any smoke, but I wasn't expecting the M1A1 Abrams either, and I don't know, mortar support, the M1A1, all of that did work decently well. Hawk Pip 3 and this, and this was interesting. I don't think that Sphinx actually noticed that his command vehicle got killed, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, right? I mean, you'd think you'd see that notification pop up and go send something to do something about it, but maybe he also thought that my vehicles were what was causing this, and since they were dead, he was fine. So we do also spot the command infantry just briefly in their home zone. Su-25T gets a kill, and then we're hanging around and we get the Cobra as well. So this plane's been growing on me. It's one of the silver linings of playing Soviets, I think, and For a while I didn't use it, and that seems to have been a mistake. We're turning around again. I want that M1A1. It's 115 points. There's a Fighting Falcon back here, but he can't really fight off the 25T, not with those rinky-dink missiles he has for it, and we do get that tank before turning around once again and just sort of loitering. You know, going in, seeing what there is to see, doing what there is to do, killing what there is to kill, and all that, and finally evac ordered from that plane as a Fighting Falcon comes in, but now we do have a Tor, and I've been trying to keep these guys farther back, allowing them to really use those long-range missiles pretty well. They're not the longest range ever against planes, been 38, 50. It's not great. You can see there, we did score a hit, but the Fighting Falcon got away all the same, so I really think these guys need to be supported with something, maybe a gun, spag or something like that, that can get a little bit of chip damage to help out those missiles. So, Legion 90, and now there is a solid combined effort trying to push Crippling out of this zone for, hopefully, the last time, as I think there's a lot of stuff here, Motostrelky 90, Motostrelky BTR 80s. We're getting enough stuff to move up. I was just kind of afraid of another bombing run, and my side of the field is still very skint. This is the cost of playing Soviets and going in after all those planes, after a Smirch, things like that. I've been getting a ton of good kills, and look at my front line. Spetsnaz Gru, a Conqueror's M that's out of missiles, Motostrelky, no recon helo over there, just one over here, no recon really at all other than Spetsnaz Gru, and, you know, that's the cost of an Su-25T, an Su-27M, and more. I've spent upwards of 500 points now, and probably closer to 650 just on planes. Seaplane coming in, we do spot a Chaparral, and there's a Block 15 circling in the back, so this is going to be a quick jaunt as my Seaplane doesn't really see anything. Evac ordered on both. I don't really want any part of that Block 15. And now we have sort of the push on this side as well. So Motostrelky screening for Fang Huabing, and this is nice. The Motostrelky can't deal with heavy vehicles, but they can deal with something. And the Fang Huabing are there to just sort of back them up and get kills against infantry. But there's another Chaparral. This started to, I started to feel bad about this. The Spetsnaz Gru have a kill list to rival anything you've ever seen from infantry, and they do finally get spotted by the M41A1. That is pretty deadly. The M8 AGS here could do some decent work. And the Smirch does get online as well. You can see all of those exploding vehicles, those mortars that have been plaguing me for so long. Finally, I think we actually took down all four, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the whole quad stack there. That have, they killed my Conqueror's M's. I was pissed. I think I had a right to be. And now we're starting the plane trains here. So Su-27M going in after the Cobra, not able to get it. 25T doesn't quite get his own missiles online either. Kind of annoyed by that, so we're going to be circling around again, potentially going after it if I can get the angle, but then I remember the Block 15, and that's going to be evac ordered. Besides, we're pushing in through Boris. The Dragoner here are not having a good day, and my BTR 80 and Motostrelky 90, they're both panicked. The Dragoner have the health advantage, but that's a Z9A, and when that thing gets his gun online, it's actually pretty impressive how much quick work you can do, even in a forest. So the Dragoner very, very injured, and now some nice mortar support for my ally here as those YW381s open up, and 5 HE power is nothing to be underestimated, pounding in against infantry time and time again. So at this point, Sphinx did surrender, and that was a hell of a game. It was some brutal fighting in Anna. My ally really took a beating doing that, and then we handed out a pretty good beating over here as well, but not one that's of the style I'm used to giving. So I'm not usually one to do this many planes because I tend to pay for it. Su-25T nearly gets killed by the Block 15, but that little interesting dance we had there actually saves him, as the Block 15 can't get the other missiles online. So we dove into it, and that was also, I think, something I clipped out as well. I don't know, I like doing the little 45-second things, but now we have an attack marker on this side of Gregory. I'm going to be shooting the gap with a couple of BMPs if this game is still going at that time. Motostrelky just towing forward to see if anything shoots at them, because with all of this stuff in Boris, I thought, well, okay, fine. Let's get full control of Gregory, let's push stuff into Fetter, let's really capitalize on our control back here, and make this a fight for the first time on our opponent's side of the field. Block 15 coming in, I think he was just screening for stuff, but maybe, I don't know, what's that going in for? Ooh. Yeah, that's a Q5D, one shot, second shot, the 27M gets a kill, and my evac key was sticking. So I was in there going, no, get away, and we do unfortunately take a bit more fire than I'd like, but no hits just yet. And the Tor shooting in, swing and a miss, and second swing and a miss. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this thing. I always expect it to do better than it actually does. But such is the way of it. And here's something interesting, Block 15, right? Triple stack of singular OSAs. First shot goes in, no kill. and we're still moving forward. The Block 15 circling around again. And these are just the standard 30 pointers, right? 2275 meter range, 35% accuracy, and down they go. One of them got a crit, and that plane is headed, well, to the point of no return. So that is going to be the end of the game here, as Crippling also surrenders. Don't blame him for that. This was a brutal, brutal game. 3960 kills versus 2270 losses, so nearly 2-1. Not quite. But 27M got some nice kills, STRVs, automatics, Hawk Pip 3, Abrams, Leopard, Hempt, Block 15, a nice smattering. I mean, this is another 200-point plane if memory serves, so yeah, I mean, you gotta get your value out of it, but we certainly did here. I think actually went, yeah, 2885 to 890. We did lose a lot of stuff, but yeah, it is what it is. Spetsnaz grew, these were the guys in the back. 2 command vehicles, a Pip 3, a Chaparral, M8 AGS, and if some of this stuff had made its way forward, like particularly the Pip 3, we would have had a lot harder time well, helping out Core on the other side of the map. Smirch did get a couple of mortars and a command vehicle, so I mean, fine with me. And the 25T also was a contender for most valuable player, although not quite as strong a one as the other plane. So that's what we've got for you guys today. Thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.